Boom. Right, we're in, dude.
Oh, okay.
You know the video you sent me before?
Yeah.
Literally, I was eating my tea then because, but I was eating my tea mindful of the fact that you was waiting for me. So I was sat over eating my tea dead fast whilst holding my phone watching this video. And one of the bits that proper made me laugh is that woman that's describing how running in the snow's really. Uh, she's on the news describing that running in the snow's great. She says it's
Perfect conditions.
perfect conditions because it's low impact and she describes the snow as dry snow and then she runs along the road and decks it.
Yeah. And like slips straight back, boom, bang your head as well. It's a bad fall, isn't it? It's
Yeah, it's
but
one of
my
them. It's one of them falls that proper gets your tailbone. Do you know what
yeah.
I mean? One of them
Take the
falls that
wind out of you.
one of them falls that anyone who watches it goes, ooh.
Yeah.
Witnesses.
They kind of just shrink into themselves. My favorite one is news reporters like being cut to them and then they don't know that they're on camera.
Yeah.
That's what I enjoy. Like the
Just,
dude with
just
the
to mention, just to mention what that video is. Is it a compilation of all like news fuck ups or something?
yeah, yeah. And it the one that I enjoyed as well is some guy's talking and he's being interviewed for rugby and there's a man in the background with this child like on his
Oh yeah,
shoulder, on the one shoulder, and you can see that he's clearly fucking around with someone and someone throws like a cricket ball or something at him and he tries to catch it with the one hand, catches it, but drops the baby and the baby does a backflip. You just see the
yeah,
legs like spread open wide like, and it looks like a the baby just looks like a star because it's in one of those jackets that make it like a star.
yeah. I the one I enjoyed. There's this guy stood outside like a football stadium, and he's holding this umbrella like that, and the umbrella just starts. The wind starts to make the side of the umbrella flap, and you can see he's proper wrestling with it with a pole. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it just goes poof, folds up like that with it, and he goes, "I'm just gonna get rid of this."
Uh, just folds up looking like the top of a carrot, you know, like the grass that, you know,
Yeah,
the leafy greens that grow out of a carrot. Just looks like that.
leafy.
How are you, bro?
I'm okay, dude. I'm not too bad. What's how was it paying your tax? Tax
Um,
sucks dick at the end of the year, doesn't it?
yeah, it does. It's just
It's weird, isn't it? Being self-employed, you're mindful all the way through the year. Because if you're employed for someone, it's done for you, isn't it? But when you're self-employed, you're always mindful that at the end of the year, this bill's coming, and you've got to be prepared for it. And then, but even though you know it's coming, it always catches you off guard. Like, do you know what I mean?
yeah, it's horrible, isn't it? And it's criminal. It's like when you read it as well, and it's like, oh, if you don't pay on time, then we can, you know, like reading about how they can just take you away, put you in prison
Yeah.
if you don't declare it all and shit.
What's mad is with like in the middle of this lockdown and that their deadlines are still their deadlines, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? Even though like loads of time we've been out of work for a lot of this. Do you know what I mean? So it's like I don't know. You think they'd give you a few months like break, wouldn't you, from paying it? Which I think you can apply for, but I didn't bother with it, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I won't bother either. I'll just pay it off.
Tell me about training, dude. What you doing? Fitness wise, go.
Trying to get a gym sorted, trying to get a gym built.
Bill, as in what you like you said last time, where you might do it in a garage or
Yeah,
like
yeah,
somewhere where
maybe.
you can take your clients.
Maybe not. No, because it depends, doesn't it? It depends how people respond. So, because I wouldn't want to have my clients trained because it's the trouble is the reason why it's such a powerful narrative, this whole coronavirus thing, is because it's like you're putting other people at risk. That's the narrative that you're running, you know? So like if I then open it up to clients, have clients, anyone can grasp me in, and it can just be like this bad thing that I'm doing because what about other people, you know? Rather
Yeah,
than
there's a stigma attached to it, isn't there?
yeah.
It's
But so
like I don't know, for example, in fact, to say it's like whatever it's like, it's not like anything because we've never had it before, have we? I was going to try and compare it to something similar to when you get in the car and you're driving, you're at risk of crashing into someone else, or someone could crash into you, but you're still allowed to drive, even though people die all the time on motorways and stuff. And I was going to compare it to that, but it's nothing like that because the fact of the matter is that you're removed from choice, aren't you? If everyone in the country was given a choice, on a person by person scale, like yes, you can lock down if you want, you can stay in your house, you can not go to any places, or go out at your own risk. Imagine how many people would actually lock down. Wouldn't be many, would it?
boys, and it's how like it's so counterintuitive as well to essentially quarantine the healthy people. Like that's like such a weird and wacky way to do it as well, to be like, there's this thing that's happened and we're these advanced human beings, and what we're going to do is we're going to quarantine all the healthy people, stay at home. Like, wait, what? Wait, why? Just it's a strange thing to do. Just quarantine the people that are sick. That's it. Not healthy.
Like ultimately with this thing, they don't know, do they? They're figuring it out the same as everyone's like on about it, saying, oh, they should be doing this and they should be doing that, but they don't know what they should be doing. They just I think because it come so suddenly last year, I think it scared them into making the wrong decisions, so that they're all panicking now, aren't they? Anyone in any position of power, if they make the wrong decision and then more people die or more things happen, they basically get the shit for it, don't they? So in their position, we'd probably be quite similar. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it'd be an open orgy, wouldn't it? If we were in power, we'd be like, you go out there and you try.
If it was my decision, right? If it was my decision when the coronavirus first hit last year, I would have I would have sorted out who's at risk with the virus. I'd have made them stay at home. Like, and I mean, when I say at risk, like you have to be like a really high risk candidate. I'd make them stay at home, and then I'd set up a mandatory, meaning you have to do this by law. Turn up to a UK sized like Glastonbury, just like a festival where everyone turns up, loads of free booze, people can get fucked, listen to music, catch the virus, get ill. A couple of weeks later, everyone's been ill and fought it off, back to normal. Job done.
Boom. Yeah, back to work.
So I've managed to get you lot back to work by April last year.
Yeah, boom. And
So,
you go back and you go back to work, clear of viruses, with a pocket full of memories from your glass rave as well. Your glass.
also a pocket full of cash because of like been doing some weird hustle where at the like massive festival, I've been like supplying them with balloons or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but because it's your idea, you pocket 90% of the cash.
Yeah, I like that.
It's totally fair.
So yeah, there's your answer. That's how you beat the virus. You have a mass festival, a mass gathering. Do you know as stupid as that idea is? It would have just probably more of a chance of working than what's been done.
Yeah, it would. It would, like, economically.
Yeah.
Or economically. Economically.
Echo.
Echo.
Yeah, I think encourage movement, encourage fucking people getting out, and I think people should be out more in a pandemic, not less. Do more shit, man. If this thing's causing deaths and stuff, don't stop us enjoying our life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like imagine if you was one of the people that caught the virus and died like 6 months into the pandemic, and you think my last 6 months of my life was a lockdown, and then I died anyway. Do you know what I mean? So that everything was shut, everything was shit. Like, I think we can make jokes about it, but generally, no one wants anyone to get ill and die from a virus. But I just find that they've allowed it to be a higher priority than existing. Do you know what I mean? Which I find strange. There's loads of things that kill people. People die. People drink. Right. People get pissed all the time and then crash the cars and die whilst drink driving or get into fights. There's violence when people are drunk. They're allowing booze to carry on. So why does this virus shut the world down? You know what I mean? There's loads of shit. There's like, you can compare it to any other thing that causes deaths and danger to life, really, couldn't you?
Mm-hmm. And fucking, yeah, and like you say earlier on, like Gerald has got diagnosed and he's got fucking 8 weeks to live, and he's like, okay, we're gonna go play crazy golf. You know, I want to enjoy my time. Let's get an ice cream, and all of a sudden he can't do that. Oh, his one last wish was, I'm just gonna have a meal in a restaurant with my family.
Or he's like on his deathbed, but he just wants to go to the cinema and just watch the latest film, the latest kick-ass movie. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
As much as you make it silly, it's actually a point, and there's a point in there.
Yeah, of course.
Among that fucking daft suggestion, there's a point. There's some truth to it.
I think it was Benjamin Franklin that said, those that are willing to give up their freedom.
Those that are willing to go to the cinema.
Yeah. So also someone about an iPhone. I believe he said someone about, and then it's, yeah, some sort of advanced, start talking about Alexa and shit.
Yeah.
Benjamin Franklin.
Go on, what you were saying. Use your words.
Those that the quote is fucking fucked it already. Those that are willing to give up their safety or freedom for safety deserve neither.
I like that.
Mm.
So let's break it down. Those who are willing to give up their freedom for safety,
yeah, deserve neither.
So what's that saying is, what do they deserve instead? So them people that are forcing us to be safe and locked down, what do they deserve instead of safety or freedom?
The fear and the opposite. Freedom would be fear, I guess, wouldn't it, or imprisonment. And safety.
Yeah, free, like caged, isn't it?
Yeah, imprisoned. But we are imprisoned. That's exactly what's just happened. We've now decided we're going to give up our freedom for safety, and all of a sudden we're imprisoned. Yeah,
well, it's a form of it's when restrictions are applied upon you in certain areas, then yeah, that's a form of like prison, isn't it?
Mm.
Even obviously though you're not physically locked in a room, you might as well be. The room's just it's just on a bigger scale, grander scale, isn't it?
Mm. Mm. And especially with like people with the upset with masks and whatnot too. You know, like with police officers, I've seen.
Dude, you made a good point a while ago. You said that the thing with the mask is when you're wearing the masks, you can still smell smells. If someone farts, you're smelling the fart, aren't you? So if that mask's not stopping some smells getting through, then it's not filtering out the air, is it?
No.
So
And then we joked about imagine in the army when we're doing CBRN training when we're doing, like
yeah, you're just in the gas chamber and you've like shit. They fucking yeah, you just put that fucking shit paper mask on, and you just all of a sudden you can't what is it?
Put on a bit of mask that your fucking nan.
What's the name of that in the army? What's the name of that type of training? The chemical warfare. It's got a name, hasn't it?
It's CBRN.
That's it.
CBRN training. Yeah, now instead of a respirator, you've got a mask that your nan made out of her quilt covers for you.
Yeah, that you remember that pouch on your webbing that had the had your gas mask on it at the side. Instead of that, you've just got a box of disposable face masks. But you do dispose of it as well. Each time you use one, you just throw it away.
Yeah, after an hour of use, you go take it off. Yeah,
no, I don't agree with the masks thing, dude. I think
I'll wear it just to keep people happy and stuff. When I go in shops and whatnot, I'm not bothered.
You've got to wear a mask, but people all around you are touching objects you're going to touch. Do you know what I mean? In the supermarket, they're touching. I don't know, loaves of bread and then putting them back. Or, you know what I mean? Like there's so much shit going on that mask's just not stopping.
Well, yeah, it's not stopping protein farts, so it's not stopping viruses, is it? So
no. What's your view on the end result of this shit? When do you think normality will hit us? Like me, I think summertime.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you could be right. Like summertime, they like. I don't know though, because it's easier now that they've clamped down. It's easier for them to like just open up. You know, like now at the moment, it's like full restriction, so it'd be easier now for them to just slowly allow it back in, rather than like, yo, you're free again, and then you kind of like, hey, and then they clamp down again.
I think that's the big thing this time. I think this time they want to nip it in the bud, don't they? So, what the fuck does... I use the term nip it in the bud, but what does it mean? Nip.
I have no idea.
But you know what I mean when I say them words, don't you?
Yeah. Sure. I can get the definition. Shit.
Oh, this fucking...
This what?
This fucking washer's going to start spinning dead violently in a second, I reckon. Do you remember last time when I did it in my mum's kitchen and he was just like... The washer was just going mental and I was trying to speak over it.
Dude, here's a fucking brilliant word. Belly wash. It's like a double barrel word. My word of the day. Yeah, double wash. And it's
what have you got for me for nip it in the bud?
I'll get back to you on that. Are you not curious?
I'm Googling it now.
No, I went on dictionary on my dictionary app, and it belly wash. Dude, this is good. I'm gonna start using this. Belly wash is any barely drinkable liquid or beverage as inferior soda, beer, coffee, or soup. So it's like if it's a barely drinkable thing, so you could refer to your coffee if it's like gone cold as belly wash.
I am not having that. That's a load of belly wash. Don't come at me with that belly wash.
I like that, dude. Like, and you know, if someone makes you a cup of tea and it's like, if you want it strong and it's weak, or if you want it weak and or you know, do you know what I mean? If they give it to you and it's super weak, you can be like, you can just refer.
Yeah.
I'm not be a diva about it. Nip it in the bud.
Come at me. I want to know the definition. I want to know where the term comes from.
So what it means, or what it's got here, is suppress or destroy something at an early stage.
Yeah, so you're getting something sorted out, isn't it?
What? Yeah, I'll
Where
try
did
and,
it come from?
hang on. Nip it in the bud. Etymology.
Wouldn't it be brilliant if we just got you to look at where the term comes from, and there was just 25 minutes of you searching for it and nothing getting said, and I'm just sat there like.
And then every time you went to speak, I was like, oh, hang on, wait, just a minute.
Yeah.
It just
And
got
then,
you.
like, but then you don't even find the information you're looking for. You're like, no, I can't find it.
What, dude? That happened to me actually. Like the other day when I was outside my girlfriend's flat and I was about to pull away, and there was a BMW in front of me, and like I'd parallel parked, and the BMW was super close. And then behind her, she had loads of room, so she could like reverse back and pull out. And so I thought, because I was so like boxed in, I thought, oh, I'm just gonna wait for her to pull out. And so she got in her vehicle. She like got in the vehicle, and I was like, ah, yeah, sweet, I'll just wait, yeah. And then no lie, I was there for 20 minutes.
Why did she sit in a car?
Yeah, but the thing is, she kept doing things, because my girlfriend even said like, I said I'm still here, and she was like, why are you still here? And like I was like, because I'm waiting. I was waiting for like every time she would do things that would like set up as if she was about to. Do you know what I mean? Like keys,
Yeah.
like certain cues that you would do, like to.
Yeah, like she's looking at her mirrors and stuff, and like grabs the steering wheel and then just gets back on her phone.
Yeah, and then she'd like put her seatbelt on, and then she'd like glance down at like the dashboard and stuff, and I'm like, oh, here we go.
You look down at the gear stick like she's putting it in gear, but then just goes back on her phone.
Yeah, but then just puts her finger up her ass and just where nip it in the bud come from is halt something at an early stage or thoroughly check something. For example, by arresting all the leaders, they nip the rebellion in the bud. Yep, got that. This metaphoric expression alluding to a spring frost that kills flower buds. There you go. So in the spring, or what says the frost? Yeah, the frost in the spring kills flower buds. So nip it in the
Belly
bud.
wash.
Belly
Dude,
wash.
you know what? You know what? It reminded me of then when you was talking about that woman behind you, and you kept seeing her do things like you kept seeing her do things to look like she was going to pull off. It's like when you're at a set of lights and you quickly check your phone, but the light changes and you've not seen it, and the person behind you beeps the second the lights have gone on green, and you're like, fucking hell, just give me a chance. I've not even put it in gear yet. Do you know what I mean? Like the light chain goes to amber and the person behind you's already beeping as if to say, come on, I've got somewhere to be. Do you know what I mean?
The light changes orange and there's already somebody outside your window knocking on it, being
dude, sometimes, right, I've been guilty of doing that at a set of lights where you just quickly look down at your phone and do you know what I mean? And I'd done that and the light had gone on to green, stayed on green for the full duration, and then gone back onto red. And I seen it going back onto red, and I thought, shit, why hadn't the car behind me beeped at me? And I looked in my rearview mirror, and I looked and see the car behind me was looking down. So they were also on the phone, and they'd done the same as me. They'd missed the lights for the whole time, and I thought it was brilliant because every time that ever happens, if it's ever happened to you, the car behind you always beeps you, letting you know that the lights have changed.
Yeah. Like I love that. Like, yeah, you two were just there, and it was just beautiful bit of harmony going on. Like you both wanted to be on your phone. You're both happy to sit for a little bit more time.
I wonder how many cars in a line of traffic have all let the light change and then go back onto red, all as a result of them looking down at the phone, so no one was the car that beeps the car in front. I wonder if it's happened to like 7 cars in a row.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to say 4. I reckon 4.
Yeah. Maybe.
Because I feel like what would be going on in that scenario would be like the person looking at their phone with the car in front of them also has the car in front of them in their peripheral. So they're relying. So that dude or whoever it was that was on the phone behind you probably had your vehicle in their peripheral, like the back of it. and was like, oh, I know when to get off my phone because the car will remove itself from my peripheral, but
Yeah.
because you never did, like that's what, yeah, quite possibly happened. Dude, I was in traffic the other day, and like on like an A road, and I was queuing, and then there was an old lady trying to pull out, and so I was like, oh, I'm gonna let her go. So I flashed the lights and let her out. And she was like 90, dude, and as I let her out, she blew like she was like and like blew this really enthusiastic kiss at me, and it just set me off, dude. It made me laugh, yeah. And
you felt at that moment in time like you was a real Casanova, like women of any age just want to throw themselves at you.
yeah.
Like, I've got to fight off all these like 30-year-olds, even to the age of like 80. They just fling it, throwing themselves at you.
That's my bracket. 18.
Imagine if you thought that highly of yourself, but like didn't. You literally just thought like you was that cool where you could just have anybody and be, you know what I mean?
Mm.
But like you was just, I don't know, like you was had that high of an opinion of yourself, but you was like, what was that guy called in the army that used to swell up?
What?
What was that guy called that was in the army regiment with us that used to swell up because he was allergic to everything?
Ah, oh, dude. Brownie.
Brownie, yeah.
Shout out to Brownie. Ah, that's so funny, dude. When
swelling up that day at the army dinner.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna reference. Because he had potatoes.
Yeah.
The potatoes, because he had to undo his tie, didn't he? Because we were like, "You're right." He had to undo his tie because it was choking him.
I just remember his lips just started to look really bright, and then over like as you was talking to him, you seen his lips swelling, and then his eyelids went puffing. It's just like I'm sure his neck like started to swell over his.
Yeah, he had to loosen his tie, didn't he? He had to loosen his tie off.
You know what it reminded me of? You know when you've got like a popped inner tube, or like a pop, you know, like when you've got a flat inner tube and you're pumping it up, and it's slowly like going from a weird shape into being like swelled out. That's what his face were doing. You know what I mean?
Like with the inner tube, like in one place as well. Like if you tape the inner tube, so then all of a sudden it's swelling one side.
Imagine if that would have been like funny. You know when you get them pumps where it goes. There's just someone with a pump behind Brownie as he's swelling up, just pumping him. Like a foot pump or something.
Yeah. Or they've popped him into a big glass of water and he's just started to swell up like one of them little like dinosaur sponges you might get.
Yeah.
What about yeah, like I really don't know what to do, dude. Like I was thinking just today, like what I want to get better at doing is doing more of the things that I actually want to enjoy, because at the moment it's all like work and like I'm running errands, I'm doing work, and I'm trying to do good things. And then I've noticed that when I do like schedule my days, I don't have a great deal sometimes of like doing things that I enjoy, and just essentially like, and I was thinking about it today in terms of like, yeah, like if I'm alive, then I should be trying to do more of the things I enjoy. But then so I had that thought today, and but like obviously it's hard now with things that are going on, isn't it? It's hard to just be like, because I was thinking, oh fuck it, I want to experience something new, I want to do something completely new, I'll just go to a class to learn something new. Or
yeah, sometimes you can have like sometimes you have this little promise in your own head, don't you? And you always promise of fun in the future, don't you? You sort of think, right, well, I'm going to deal with this work and I've got a lot on. It's going to get better. And you tell yourself that. And a lot of the time, you're missing out on having it now because you're wanting it in the future. Do you know what I mean? You shouldn't get too hung up on the fact that you're going to have. I imagine just thinking like, oh, I'm going to have fun next week on Tuesday. I'm going to it's going to be fun when I go and do this. And like you're always thinking ahead to that, and you're feeling like you're justifying why it's shit now. on the basis that it's going to be fun later. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes you miss out on doing stuff because you're so concentrated on work, and I think what I'm trying to say ultimately is it always has to be balanced, doesn't it? You always make time for you. Fucking hell, like, what? Can you hear the washer getting steadily louder?
No.
It mustn't sound too bad. Let's see what it's like on the recording. Do you remember on that last one where my phone went off a couple of times and you was like that? That's gonna sound hanging in the headphones. That, you know, if anyone listened on Spotify.
Yeah. The ping. Yeah, the ping's brutal. The ping's like, you know, one of them. Fuck, I forgot. You know, in China when they go, the gong, when they're like, sounds like a gong, doesn't it? Every time you get a text message, someone's out there with their headphones in their hair. Yeah, with their headphones in their hair. Not quite doing it right. Yeah, little iPod.
Well quiet these. Sending them back to Apple, saying that I just couldn't quite hear the bass. And I definitely put it on the right strand of hair.
Yeah, I definitely had it an inch and a half above my ear.
Yeah.
I ensured that I did that.
So we're reconnecting tomorrow for the proper episode for this week. But yeah, we just thought we'd bump into each other, didn't we?
Touch base, nip it in the bud.
Yeah, nip it in the bud. Let's leave it there, dude. Peace.
Are you still recording?